I know you, champion. The Agma Infinite was only the beginning. This is Apocrypha, where all knowledge is hoarded. Sate your thirst for knowledge in the endless stacks of my library. If you tire of the search, read your book again to return to your mortal life. For a time, the lure of Apocrypha will call you back. It is your fate.
place could be so ancient. Bet it's over 1,000 years old.
She was real surprised when I pulled that knife from my
Damn
boot.
wizards. Not good enough for your precious... What was that? I knew it.
We got ourselves here.
No.
I damn you nothing!
Bandits and thieves. Men like these raid our town every year.
Just one more. Maybe a second. Get to sleep.
Everything in here seems to be about death. Burial urns, crypts, funeral shrouds. It's a bit depressing. It just feels right. No problem. How can I help? You lead, I'll follow.
That they have forgotten. That we might remember.
Citizen.
If you're looking for passage to Vardenfell, you're out of luck. No ships are heading that way anymore.
Lost? Let me see that. Huh, I knew it. Gratian's death wasn't because of a rockfall. It was just a story to keep people away from the tombs. Now that I have his journal in hand, I can get some closure from the East Empire Company. Make them pay for lying to everyone. Thank you. Now, I believe I owe you a little more than a debt of gratitude for all that work you did. Here, it's not much, but it's the best an old retired miner can do. Those cowards left decades ago. Every single damned one of them. The moment the ebony mine dried up, they pulled up stakes. Ridiculous. Solstheim is still rich in ebony ore. I know there's more down there. I can smell it. I come from 3 generations of miners, and I'm telling you that the East Empire Company was wrong. They just didn't want to spend the coin trying to find it. Our home has stood in Raven Rock since the colony was founded. Gratian helped build it with his own 2 hands. After Gratian died, he left behind a wife and a son. My grandfather, Relicus. Relicus lived there for quite a long time, working in the other sections of the mine until he was slain by reavers. I never knew my father. My mother and I always lived alone. I asked her about him many times, but she seemed angry and refused to speak about him. So eventually, I let it go. When I was old enough, I began working in the mine, hoping to make my fortune and eventually move to the Imperial City. Unfortunately, yes. I only had enough coins saved to send one of us back to the Imperial City. So I sent my mother alone. I wanted her to see her homeland before she died. Until I met my darling Aphia, yes. I suppose you could have called me a bitter old hermit. Now I'm just old. Mark my words. Raven Rock isn't finished yet.
Allow me to apologize for Cretius's behavior. I'm afraid he hasn't been himself lately.
If you ever need apothecary supplies, talk to my wife, Milori. Always a pleasure to taste anything Geldis comes up with. I think so, but I can't remember how I know him. Or maybe I'm wrong. I'm not sure. I think so. But the only thing that comes to mind is a shrine near the Earthstone. The Dunmer have been growing food in the Ashlands for thousands of years. It was born out of the necessity to survive in the harsh climate of our homeland. And now, with the constant eruptions of the Red Mountain, it's more important than ever. No, only the Telvanni have the ability to weave living growth from the ash. This simply takes the right ingredients, the right tools, and a lot of patience. Next time you're hungry, stop by. I always have plenty of food for sale.
And that's the end of it, understand? You haven't seen Crush's Corellius, have you? That foolish old man's taken my pickaxe again. No, this isn't just your run-of-the-mill pickaxe. I'm talking about an ancient Nordic pickaxe. They don't exactly grow on trees, you know. I prefer to handle these things on my own. Look, if you see Crush's, tell him to give me that pickaxe back, and I'll pay you for the trouble. Perfect. I was just thinking about heading over for a drink. Thanks for saving me the trip. Well, well, it's been a long time since someone from the guilds bothered to make their way out here. So tell me, how's my brother Delvin? Still spending his nights at the Ragged Flagon trying to win Vex's heart? Good to hear. Damn layabout never even bothers to send his own flesh and blood a letter saying how he's doing. Can you imagine? Anyway, I suppose you're looking for work. Well, I got bad news. This place is drier than a damn bone. Eager to make some coin, eh? That's the spirit. I'll tell you what. The guild's got a problem out here that I've been trying to deal with for years, but haven't been able to handle. Don't look at me like that. I'm all alone out here, with no one to watch my back. And besides, it's really my problem anyway. I caused it. A fellow Breton who went by the name Esmond Tyne showed up on my doorstep about a fortnight ago. He noticed the shadow marks like you did, and I thought he was one of us. That he did, right out from under my nose. Can you believe it? It's my own formula for improved bone mold. Took me years to perfect. Well, before he ran off, he was talking some nonsense about trying to fence goods to the Reeklings at Castle Karstag. I told him he was crazy to even think about talking to those vicious little buggers, but he wouldn't listen. I'd bet a fat purse of coin that he's either dead or hiding out up there.
You need to talk some sense into your house.
You do that, and I'll make sure you're set up right. You won't be disappointed.
That isn't my problem. I was clear when I loaned Garvey the money that I wanted it back by first harvest.
The finest weapons and armor. A fine question, and the one that I hear most often from visitors to our town. I wish I had a more romantic tale to tell, but I was simply seeking my fortune and chose Raven Rock to ply my trade. Besides, knowing how to repair bone mold armor wasn't very useful in Riften. I had a friend over there, a dark elf named Van Ryth, a very talented armorsmith. Spent a lot of time with the guy swapping smithing techniques. Learned a heck of a lot, including how to repair bone mold. After he moved on to greener pastures, I decided to pack up, move out here, and put those lessons to the test. Been here ever since. It's the only tool tough enough to crack Stalrim, is what it is. Not many of those beauties left in the world. Forging them is a lost art. The one Cresius borrowed came from the Skull village up north. I, traded them some goods for it. Calling Stalrim an ore is like calling my forge a campfire. Some folks say it's enchanted ice, but I think there's more to it than that. I don't think I've come across more than a chunk or two in my lifetime, and smithing's my trade. If you're looking to learn more, you should head over to the Skull village. Someone there's bound to know more about it than I do. No, wait. Maybe. I don't know how I know that name. I'm not sure. I don't want to talk about this. You tell Cresius he better give that pickaxe back to me, or else.
My husband Vendel feared visitors would shun Raven Rock. I'm glad to see he was mistaken. Sure, got nothing better to do. Mirac. I'm sure I've heard that name before. Haven't I? Was it in a dream? May your path be free from...
I'll give you this warning only once. Take that swill and pour it down a well. No, wait. I recognize the name,
Always nice
but
to
I'm
speak
not
to
sure
someone from
why.
the mainland.
Until next time.
Allow me
I
to
work for
apologize
Mogul.
for
You
Crucius's
got a problem,
behavior.
you talk to
He
him.
hasn't been himself.
Looking for any potions? I should mix some of this into my next potion. Who knows what would happen? I don't think so. Though it sounds like a name I've heard before. I hear that name, and I see a temple here on Solstein. What could that mean?
Yes, I'm proud to say that I grow or harvest most of it myself. I only wish I had a better source for netch jelly. Those creatures are difficult to track down since it's so dangerous beyond the bulwark.
My goodness, you're quite resourceful, aren't you?
This is all I can offer in return for this. I hope it's enough. If you're looking for... Ah, so you're an alchemist then? After we left Morrowind, we found ourselves in Skyrim. We wandered around a bit and ended up in Morthal, where we took up temporary residence with Lami, the town's alchemist. I was fascinated by her work, and over a period of a few years, she taught me quite a bit. It wasn't long before we became homesick. We were the only Dunmer in Morthal. When word reached us that a settlement of Dunmer was forming on Solstein, we were thrilled. It's been difficult, but I'm not regretting it one bit. In fact, I'm glad we've been able to stay and help. So you're interested in my potions and ingredients? I think I can teach you a thing or two. As you can imagine, the eruption of the Red Mountain took an awful toll on Solstein. Hunting for game has been scarce, and the waters are apparently too tainted for fishing. According to Councillor Morvain, my husband's been Raven Rock's most important food source for decades. Remember, I have plenty of potions and ingredients if you're ever in the market. Allow me to apologize for Crucius's behavior. I'm afraid he hasn't been himself.
Miserable. Just miserable. At least my father will let me drink whatever I want without complaining. Tell Geldis I appreciate it. Don't like it. I hate it. Every day it's the same thing. We open the shop, we hardly sell a thing, we close the shop and go to sleep. What kind of a life is that? Oh, believe me, I'd be on the first ship off this miserable island if I could. But I'm not sure I could do that to my father. I think it would break his heart. We've already lost my mother. I don't want to leave him alone. We lived in a settlement, perhaps a league from the border of Black Marsh, the homeland of the Argonians. Even though the Argonian invasion ended a long time ago, there are still a few scale-skinned clans that live within our borders. To put it simply, they attacked our settlement and slaughtered almost everyone. It was horrible. I think so, but I'm not sure where I heard the name. I don't know why, but I'm thinking about a temple here on the island. Maybe it was just a bad dream. Keep yourself safe. Solstein's still a dangerous
Your
place.
actions here have been a blessing to us all, Sergio. Well, take a look at what I have, and maybe we can make a deal. Next time you're hungry, stop by. I always have plenty of food.
It's busier now that things are starting to look up. Geldis needs to bottle this up and send it to the mainland instead of wasting his time out here. His drinks are outstanding. Thanks. Mining gear? No. However, I used to sell East Empire pendants until I ran out of them. Popular little item. It's an amulet that was made exclusively for the East Empire Company. They gave them to their workers as an incentive at one point, a kind of reward for extra effort. They're no longer being made, so they've become a collectible. I'd love to get my hands on a few of them. Well, well. Seems you're proving fairly useful for an Outlander. Here's your coin. Keep bringing me more, and I'll keep paying you for them. The East Empire pendants are scattered all over, so leave no stone out.
You must be using quite a bit of your...
What do you got?
I work for Mogrel. You got a problem?
Welcome to the Retching Netch Corner Club. How do you think? It's a blessing. I've got regular paying customers again. Thirsty workers at the end of the day. Sure thing. It's yours for a day. I'll show you to your room. Right this way. Come back any time. My doors are always open. Let me know if there's anything else you need.